unless Olivia Miles is going to be doing that, she can go to TCU all she wants. But if you want to have the same level of cachet, not respect, but cachet and popularity as Hailey Van Lift, you're going to have to do some very Hailey Van Lift things. And I mean, Hailey Van Lift posts her summer workouts like she's in the NBA. Like, she's very different in how she handles her brand.
It was an eventful week in women's basketball. Paige Beckers and AZ Fudd led UConn to their first national championship win since 2016, and we saw two huge transfers as well. So NCAA's leading scorer Taniah Latson is joining Dawn Staley at South Carolina, and projected number 2 overall pick in this year's draft, Olivia Miles, is headed to TCU. Rodney, let's start with the national championship game. Were you surprised by the way UConn mollywopped South Carolina?
No, I wasn't that surprised. I told you from the beginning that this was going to be a battle of one seeds. Unfortunately, with Juju's injury, USC didn't make it to the championship game. But I still feel like I don't know. I felt like with Juju's injury, it just kind of messed up the excitement for the entire tournament. If I can be completely honest with you, like I super checked out after she tore her ACL, and I really wanted to see her dominate UConn as she did earlier in the season. I thought I was very surprised that UCLA didn't make it to the championship game. That was my big shocker. I felt like they were going to be the national champs. So I don't know what happened there. Maybe some bad juju. You see what I did there? But Paige and the rest of UConn, they're so old. You know, they're like the oldest team in women's college basketball. So I'm not surprised.
Some young girls.
Yeah, but between Azzy and Paige, you know, those are 5-year collegiate players who came in as very high level recruits. Like, just imagine if Caitlin Clark was still playing college basketball this year, which technically she could have. We couldn't. I can't even fathom her level of dominance. So I wasn't shocked, but I was a little disappointed by the whole how it all played out.
I was shocked. I feel like I came into that matchup thinking that South Carolina was going to be able to at least outscore UConn. I thought that they had a lot of weapons, even weapons coming off the bench. It was just really shocking to me, the lack of offense they were able to get going in this matchup. She's just going to have to focus on defense. So we're going to segue now to Taniah Latson out of Florida State, signing with Dawn Staley in South Carolina. Do you feel like this is what she needs, or like I said, does she need to go and get another big, or does she need to get somebody that's more a defensive style player?
Well, she has 2 McDonald's All-Americans coming in that both play the forward position, so they will have front court help. Their star guard, Full Wiley, should be back next year unless she decides to transfer because of,
we can talk about that because I don't know.
Yeah, which is possible, but I think you need to have a veteran scorer. Taniah has been a 20-point per game scorer since she entered collegiate basketball. And, second team All-American, she shoots 45% from the field. And so when you ingratiate a player of that quality, of that ilk, into a program and a system that operates at the thumb of Dawn Staley, I don't think anything about this could be even perceived slightly as a misstep or a miscalculation. These are the kind of players that you need in order to win national championships, because UConn, and I don't know if USC is going to be tricky, but UConn, of course, is going to retool, and you just want to have the best players and the most mature players in college sports nowadays, both in football and basketball. Maturity in collegiate sports really goes a long way, and this is somebody who's tried and true for 3 years down at FSU.
No, I really like that. I do feel like Malaysia, I wouldn't be surprised if Fuwali transferred. I think that
But why though? And to where?
Only because I feel like as talented as she is, she gets lost at South Carolina. Like in the tournament, she was getting lost. Like I'm like, where is Malaysia? And when she did get in the game, you could tell that she's really young, right? And so maybe I don't know. I could see her wanting to go somewhere and be the superstar, and she's not going to be that at South Carolina. That's just what I think.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it, but I think that's one of the things that a lot of coaches and fans of collegiate sports are starting to complain about, right? Like these players are not really showing an intestinal fortitude to get better, to grow within the confines of a program. And, when she gets to the next level, if she's afforded the opportunity to play in the WNBA, which is never a guarantee, you're not necessarily going to come in and out the gate be the star focus or the singular focus of any organization, right? Especially at the guard position with her height. So you're going to have to figure out how to play alongside other talented players. This is what the game of basketball has always been. And, I think that sometimes because of the times that we are living in, when I was coming of age, right, like everybody was super fixated on Mark Zuckerberg. Like, oh my gosh, he became a millionaire overnight. And we get so inspired by these outliers, and we think that we're supposed to have their same trajectory and path. And that's not always the case. It's very rarely the case, if we can be honest. So I think that she's going to need to actually stay at South Carolina if she wants to become the best version of herself, because she is under the tutelage of one of the most dynamic, special, spectacular guards that has ever existed in women's basketball, of course, in Dawn Staley. So I think she'd be a fool to leave. And, unless there's a bag somewhere, I'm never going to tell her to not get her bag, but I don't know where the bigger bag can be coming from South Carolina. Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking of bags, we did see Olivia Miles say that she's going to TCU, and a huge shocker because she's supposed to be getting her name called here in the next couple of weeks, and she's not. So she decided to go to TCU. And I feel like if you look at the tournament, TCU had a lot more eyeballs on them than Notre Dame, which was really shocking to me. What did you make of Olivia deciding that she's going to go to Texas Christian?
Eyeballs go where stars exist. And Hailey Van Lift she has brand equity. And so because of, her many stops along the course of her career, of course, Louisville, and then at LSU, right? Like she was then a part of the spectacular circus that was Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese. So that's a name that has a level of brand equity. And Hailey Van Lift does something that most collegiate women's hoopers do not do, and that she's like mastering social media and mastering media in general, right? Like I just saw she did a Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition. So, so unless Olivia Miles is going to be doing that, she can go to TCU all she wants. But if you want to have the same level of cachet, not respect, but cachet and popularity as Hailey Van Lift, you're going to have to do some very Hailey Van Lift things. And I mean, Hailey Van Lift posts her summer workouts like she's in the NBA. Like she's very different in how she handles her brand. So, interesting choice. We'll see what comes of it. She's clearly cold though. She's an elite hooper, but the brand is a little dry. The brand is a little dry.
Okay, so what would you suggest that she does?
You got to let people in. I think the first thing that she can do out the gate is tell people why she actually transferred. Right? Like I haven't heard her voice. I don't know why she actually transferred. I don't know what it was like for her to lose in the tournament unexpectedly so early. I don't know what it was like for her to play with Hannah Hidalgo and some of the things we've heard about the players on Notre Dame who maybe have some issues with Hannah Hidalgo. Like, let us hear your voice. And lastly, what she can do is post some summer workouts of you seeing you getting into your bag and busting dudes' ass. People are also very interested and invested into how women who are elite at basketball and other sports compete against men, right? And so you post some highlights of you hooping with men, as Hailey has in the past, and let's see what that looks like on tape. And I think that will garner a little bit more attention. Like, oh, she really be hooping. But we don't know anything about her outside of her being in a Notre Dame uniform, which is to your detriment, the detriment of your brand. So.
Well, we want to hear from you all down in the comments. One, you got to let us know about the national championship game, UConn winning its first title since 2016, and then these two transfers in Taniah Latson and Olivia Miles. Drop down in the comments and let us know.